The sun sinks below the jagged teeth of the mountains, painting the prehistoric valley in shades of orange and purple. The wind whispers through the tall trees, carrying with it the sounds of the day, the bleating of goats, the mooing of cows, the distant roar of a lion. As night falls, the tribe gathers together inside a wide cave. It's their home, their shelter from the wild world outside. But tonight is different. Tonight they come together not just for warmth and safety, but to create. The walls of this cave are smooth and tall, like a giant canvas reaching up to meet the sky. And on this canvas, the tribe will paint their stories, their hopes, their dreams. The elders of the tribe, their faces lined with age and wisdom, carry bowls made of stone. In their hands, these bowls are filled with red and black paint, ground from crushed berries, clay and charcoal. The children sit close by, their eyes wide with wonder, watching as the hunters use torches to light the walls, casting flickering shadows that dance and sway. Slowly, very slowly, the tribe begins to create. Hands covered in paint press against the stone, leaving colorful marks. Each mark is a story waiting to be told. The hunters, their bodies strong and weathered from a day's work, take sharpened sticks and trace the lines of the beasts they have hunted. They draw the outlines of mammoths, their tusks like curved swords, of swift deer with their spotted coats and powerful bison, their heads held high. Around these fierce creatures, the women paint rivers that wind like snakes through the land, trees that reach for the sky and the bright sun that gives them life. As the cave walls begin to fill with shapes and colors, the tribe murmurs with excitement. The young ones giggle as they try to copy the drawings, their small hands making tiny handprints on the stone. This is more than just a painting. It's a storybook, a memory of their world carved in color. The men tell tales of the hunts, of how the mammoths thundered across the plains, of how the deer leaped and the bison charged. Their voices echo in the cavernous space as they describe the thrill of the chase, the struggle to bring down the mighty beasts, and the joy of returning with food for the tribe. The women, their voices soft and lilting, add their own stories to the mix. They paint pictures of the plants that grow along the riverbanks, the herbs they used to heal, the berries that stain their lips red, and the stars that twinkled in the night sky. Their stories are of life and growth, of healing and hope, and they weave them together with the men's tales, creating a tapestry of their world. A young girl, her eyes shining with curiosity, asks why they are making these drawings. An elder, his face a map of wrinkles, takes her hand and leads her to a smooth patch of wall. Here he draws a simple handprint, small and delicate like the girl's. Then he paints over it, turning it into a bright yellow sun. He explains that this is the sun that gives them light and warmth, that helps their crops grow and that guides them home when they get lost. He tells her that long ago, the sun was just a ball of fire in the sky, cold and distant. But then the tribe painted it yellow, full of warmth and light, and it became a friend to them, a symbol of hope and new beginnings. The girl looks up at the ceiling of the cave, imagining the sun up there in the sky, shining down on them. She feels a sense of wonder and gratitude for the gift of light and warmth that lets her live and grow. The boy, his face smudged with dirt and paint, runs his fingers over the drawings of the animals, feeling their rough textures beneath his touch. He asks about the spirit of the cave, the one that makes the paintings come alive when the firelight dances on the walls. The elder smiles and says that the spirit of the cave is in every mark, in every line color they make. It's the spirit of their tribe, of their ancestors, and of the world around them. He tells the boy that when the fire burns low, the animals sleep. But when the fire burns high, the paintings come alive. The boy's eyes widen in amazement as he watches the shadows of the animals flicker and dance on the walls. He can almost hear the mammoths trumpeting, the deer barking, and the bison thundering as they chase each other through the cave. The boy joins the others, his heart pounding with excitement. Together they tell stories, sing songs, and dance to the beat of drums. The sound of soft drumming echoes in the background, joined by bone flutes that make a high, haunting tune. The rhythmic thump of the drum seems to vibrate in the boy's chest, matching the beat of his heart. The haunting melody of the flutes sends shivers down his spine, making him feel like the spirit of the cave itself is singing to him. He looks around at the others, their faces illuminated by the firelight, their eyes shining with joy and wonder. In this moment, he feels a sense of belonging, of connection to something larger than himself. He closes his eyes, letting the music and the darkness envelop him. When the boy opens his eyes, he sees a small lizard darting across the cave wall. He points it out to the others, and they all watch as the lizard disappears into a crack. A young girl whispers that maybe the lizard is a cave monster, a creature that lives inside the walls and comes out only at night. The others laugh, but the boy isn't so sure. He tells them about the cave monster he saw in a dream, a creature with sharp teeth and claws that lives in the darkest parts of the cave and feeds on the fears of those who enter. The boy's voice trembles as he describes the monster's glowing eyes and its deafening roar. The others huddle closer together, their faces pale in the flickering firelight. Suddenly, there's a loud crash from somewhere in the cave, and they all jump in fright. The boy looks around, his heart pounding, and sees a rock that has fallen from the ceiling. But as he watches, another rock falls, and then another, until a shower of rocks is raining down on them. The boy screams and runs for cover, but he can't help but look back at the entrance. In the distance, he sees a pair of glowing eyes staring at them. Then a large shape begins to emerge from the darkness, its claws scraping against the rock. The shape grows larger and larger until it asks clear that what they are dealing with is no ordinary animal. It's the cave monster from the boy's story, brought to life by the darkness and their fears. But as the monster steps into the firelight, the boy sees something that makes him gasp. It's not a monster at all, but a man wearing a scary mask. The man drops his mask, revealing a friendly face, and smiles at them. He explains that he was just playing a trick on them and apologizes for scaring them. But the boy can't help but ask, why would he do such a thing? The man shrugs and says he just likes to have fun. Then he notices the paintings on the walls and asks if he can try making one himself. The boy nods shyly and hands the man a piece of charcoal. The man dips his fingers in red paint and makes a handprint on the wall. He tells him that these are the marks of his ancestors, the cave people who lived here long ago. The boy looks at the handprint, then at the man, and realizes that they are connected to these people by their art, by their stories, and by their spirit of adventure. The boy picks up a piece of charcoal and makes his own mark on the wall, a small circle next to the man's handprint. He looks up at the others and smiles. They're all part of the story now, and their story is part of theirs. In the end, the cave glows with color, filled with the stories and laughter of the tribe. The drawings of animals are so detailed you can almost hear them breathing, see them moving just beyond the reach of the firelight. Human figures dance across the walls, their arms raised in celebration. Even the glowing fire is painted as a circle of red, a reminder of the warmth and light that brings them together. As the fire burns brighter, the cave becomes more than shelter, more than just a place to sleep. It becomes a storybook, a memory of their world carved in color. The tribe sits together inside the cave, their faces illuminated by the flickering firelight. They're tired from a long day, but their hearts are full. Their bellies are full from the food they have gathered, and their spirits are high from the stories they have shared. They look around at the cave walls, proud of what they have created together. The children snuggle close to their parents, their small hands clutching pieces of charcoal and paint. The elders sit quietly, their eyes shining with inspiration. Then, as if by magic, a single figure steps out from the shadows. His body is adorned with paint. His eyes are glowing embers. He holds a piece of charcoal in his hand, and as he brings it to the wall, the shadows dance and twist around him. With a few bold strokes, he creates an image that takes the breath away. It's a picture of the tribe, of the cave, of the world they know and love. And in that moment, they understand that they are more than just a group of people living in a cave. They are artists, storytellers, dreamers, and they are alive. The caveman looks at the viewer, dipping his hand in paint, pressing it on the wall and pointing toward a carved stone that reads, "Like, share, and subscribe to keep our story alive."